Hello there. Happy Saturday. How's everybody? Hopefully, you had a good week, productive. It's spring here, I think, in Ohio. We can't say that very loud because we'll get winter again. But today has sun, and we're happy here in central Ohio. So, what are we going to do today? We're going to stick with our ideal customer avatar exercise, and I'm going to show you something to help you with your lead magnet creation. Because what's knowing your ICA if you don't have something of value to give them so that they can come into your world, you can nurture them, and you can softly lead them to your offer or service that is going to solve a pressing problem for them. So let's get started. So, first off, today's agenda, I just basically told you. We're going to keep with our ideal customer avatar. It is the foundation. Let me get fancy here with my little circle. Um, it is a foundation. I mean, this is for all your marketing, it's for how you develop your products or your service. You have to have someone, one little individual up in your mind that you are creating for, that you are talking to. So, the problem that most people have, or they don't understand that they need to do this exercise, is most people will start building a product. Guilty as charged. I have built more things, had so many half baked ideas, never asked anybody who, hey, do you have this problem? I got a solution here. Do you have the problem? I never really asked anybody, and then you start building for a general public or, general customer, which is basically no one. Because the issue is when you're not building around a single person you can visualize in your mind, you're talking to no one. Think about it. Think about that just for a second. Now, the fix is to know that person. Know your person. Put them in here. Get them in your heart. Everything else gets stupid simple after that. Because if you're talking to your friend, you know how you talk to your friend, right? Your very best friend, your gal, your guy. You talk a certain way to them. It's natural. You know how they're, you got a, relationship going. You know what's expected of you. And you're talking to that one person. It's the same thing when you're selling things. You've got to talk to a person. Don't talk to 100 million people that you think will be your customer eventually. Doesn't work that way. Now we're going to use the ideal customer avatar creator today. Again, showed it to you yesterday. Yesterday, I wasn't here yesterday. I showed it to you last week, but I've kind of improved upon it. Claude and I have been working extremely hard. Claude, Lovable, and I, because I don't want to leave anybody out, give props where props are due. I want you to scan that QR code and it'll take you to the ICA creator. Let me get there. Let me get there for you. Okay. Here we go. Okay, I almost forgot where I am. And just little things. Why does this head in the circle look better than the other head in the circle? I've got to figure that out. I noticed that right before I came on and I was testing through the slides and I'm like, that looks completely different than the other circle. But, we're not going to worry about it because it's better to just get this stuff done and move on than to worry about little things like, oh, my head is the top of my hair, which of course I don't have very much hair, is getting cut off. Don't worry about it, people. Here's my beautiful, I'm very proud of this. My ICA creator, ideal customer avatar creator. And this is built in Lovable, as you can see down here in the corner. Not going to lie. Lovable Let me get my cursor here. Edited by Lovable, and that's lovable.dev. I know most AI companies are ending in .ai, but Lovable ends in .dev if you're curious. Very easy. You're just going to talk to it and it does everything. And here's a little caveat that I do, and I think it saves some money in the long run. So I do pay for Claude, and I still, bump up against, the limits. Like by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's you have to wait. Now, usually it'll be in the morning, and then it'll say you have to wait till 12 or you have to wait till 1. And I'm like, I'm fine. That's okay. I'll wait. I'm not going to pay. I did pay one day, and I had to hurry up and get that thing turned off. I'm like, no, why did you said I gave you a limit of $5 and it charged me $12.50. So there was something wrong there. So what I do to save money is like I say, I pay for Claude, and I have Claude write the prompt for Lovable, because I don't want to go over to Lovable and have to pay for Lovable too. By the time I tell Lovable what I want, I'm going to use all my tokens over there. So I have Claude do the heavy lifting. It creates the entire prompt, which is just like exactly like what you see here. And then I take it over to Lovable. And one thing I want to, what I am proud of, what I'm most proud of, is this doesn't look exactly like AI made it. Our goal, Claude and my goal, was to not make it look like AI. That was the number one goal here. And after we went and fiddled around, I said, well, guess what? It does still look like AI made it, but that's okay. It does what it's supposed to do. And I think it's just a little prettier than a lot of the AI generated applications out there. So, one thing I do want, I'm always looking for feedback. I always need feedback. I don't build these things just, for my health. I want them to help you. Okay. These are things that hopefully will make your life easier when it comes to the tech. So let's get in here. You've seen this last week if you were here. Before you write another word, get dialed in to your audience. Now you're going to get instant access, and there's basically, I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. See what happened? That's my cursor. I'm sorry. Okay, so back here. Okay, so basically 4 sections that we're going to go over for to determine who your ICA is. You want to know who they are, the demographics, work life, family, the problem, what they want, their voice. And you got a little quote there. The problem isn't your content, it's that you haven't gotten specific about who you serve, what keeps them up at night, and what they'd give anything to feel on the other side of their problem. If you can put that into your landing pages, in your emails, in any type of, marketing, your Facebook ads, if you can get that across, that you understand what they would be willing to give up to get that problem solved, then you're a winner. You're a winner. Chicken dinner. So we got our 4 sections coming down here, and I am going to ask for your email because it's just what happens nowadays. I'm going to do a little fake email here. And Jane at home, we're going to get instant access. Take a minute. Okay, you got a little explanation up here of why you're doing this. Know them first, build everything else second. And this isn't just me. I mean, this is just basic marketing. This has been around forever. It's just kind of packaged in an online scenario. So we've got some questions. You got about 15 questions, I think. I am not going to go and type into them, but the scenario here that we've used is a plant parent who is desperate to figure out why their plants keep dying. So Her name is Dana. Her age range is between 25 and 44. You could go all the way up here if you wanted. I love the little, what are these? Pillows? I think they're called pillows. They just amaze me. They're cute. Okay, do they work? Yes or no. If no, just go to the children. She happens to be an office manager full time. Do you have kids? Yes or no. If you got kids, let's know how many and what their ages are, because it really does make a difference. Like I say, you got 4 sections here. We're just going to run through them extremely quickly. Let me see if I can. I think I told you guys I was having problems last week with my pinch and zoom on the Mac trackpad, and I was trying everything. I even downloaded apps, and I'm like, everybody else seems to zoom in and zoom out so easily. What is wrong with me? And finally I called AppleCare. Thank God for AppleCare. And they determined that my battery needs to be replaced. So that's going to be either I don't want to take it out. I'm just going to send it in. I'm so lazy. I don't want to take it out to Easton. I either got to go to East. Well, nobody knows. I either got to go to Easton or I got to go to Polaris. Both places are places that I never go. They're suburbs that I just never go. There would never be another reason for me to go out there. So I'll just have them send me a box and I'll ship it back to them. So, and just to go off on another tangent, since I need to do that, I'm like, oh no, but I'll be without my laptop for a few days. Oh my God, what will I do? 2 iPads, an iMac, not like I'd be stranded, and 2 iPhones. But nevertheless, you still say, what am I going to do without it? But they do have that, what's it called? The Mac Neo? Is it the Neo? That little $599? I don't know. It looks so cute. I might get it, just for an extra. I shouldn't, but I'm just talking out loud. So back to our ideal customer avatar. We are here at the problem. What's the main problem they're trying to solve? Well, the plants keep dying and she doesn't know why. Now, when you're doing this on your own, these questions are very important. I take my questions, I take all my marketing, whatever you want to call it, my marketing copy, emails, landing pages, whatever, however I'm talking to a potential customer or client, I use the hero's journey. The Story Brand by Donald Miller, his framework is based on the hero's journey. Hero's journey, I also did if you go back, look on my channel, and I do have something about the hero's journey. But the hero's journey, people get this confused when they're selling. You've got a great product, and you're going to go out there and sell it to the correct people, but you act like you're the hero, and you act like your potential customer wants to hear your story. Guess what? They don't. People, the problem is, how do I say this? It doesn't matter to your prospective client or customer how many letters are after your name, how much millions and billions of dollars you saved this company, and how many, millions of people you've helped to 6 and 7x their businesses, yada, 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 zippity doo-dah. They want to know how you can help them. Now, sure, authority is important. You have to show them, demonstrate that you have an authority. But first off, they're the hero. You're just guiding them. They're the one that is going to be the star at the end of this story. And it's their story. Make no mistake about it. It's not your story. You're just guiding them, okay? So that said, these questions help bring out the problem that you're trying to solve. And this exercise is very good, and I do want to get probably add in here in this app the validation questions that you should be making. You should be talking to your audience. Once you determine who you want to talk to and you think that your solution is going to solve their problem, once you figure that out, you still need to go and talk to them. You have to ask them yet another set of questions to determine if you are solving the right problem. A lot of us solve the wrong problem. I've solved the wrong problem a lot of times. I actually, right now, when I'm this workshop that I want to build, I'm going to build it. I promise you, I'm going to build it. It's in the emails, isn't it? I've even got a wait list. But when I started, I thought, well, I'm going to just help people. We're going to have a workshop. It'll be 2 days. We'll build we'll build the entire website. We're going to do the entire, everything in WordPress. And then maybe we'll go over and we'll get the course built over in Kajabi or no. Guess what? My ideal customer, my ideal client, a ton of them are still growing their business, growing their email list. And that's where they're having the problems. And I only found this out because I talked to people and I was in a few Facebook groups and whatnot and what have you. And these were the questions that I kept seeing, I don't know which software to use. And it said something about DNS and domain and I didn't, I don't understand that. And how do you get the opt-in form to the whatchamajiggy and everything's got to talk. And those were the questions they were saying. And I said, oh my gosh, I don't need to give them the entire, plan to build out their course. What I need to do is help them grow their email list. So that's where my workshop is right now. That Was Easy List Growth Workshop. That is coming. It's coming. I promise people. So these questions are very important. And I guess in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is do not build anything. Do not build. Please do not build. Do not build before you talk to people. Startups call it getting out of the building. Everybody, you got to talk to people. I just cannot emphasize that enough. You've got to talk to people because I was absolutely building the wrong thing. So I also tried templates. And some people are very successful with templates, but I didn't ask people, do you want this template? Do you want this type of template? They didn't need it because there's enough templates out there. So that being said, questions are very, very important. So we come down here, we're going to continue on. Like I say, there's 4 sections. What does success look like for them? For Dana, it's healthy, thriving plants and an inviting home. What would Google, this is a good one. What would they Google to find you? And that's if you are trying to figure out who needs the solution, go start Googling different things and definitely look down into the auto completes and see, because those are things that people have Googled before. And I know I'm kind of dating myself because nobody is doing that with Google anymore. We're going straight to the AI. Go ask the AI. It'd be quicker and helpful, right? Yes. Okay. So we've got all these questions. We're getting here. And I'm going to do something. I'm just going to go through here real quick. Real quick. I'm going to build it. You get to build the ICA. Now you're going to see all your answers are going to come down here. You get to download my ICA summary. You can edit your answers. That's cool. And you can start over. One thing that Claude and I are going to have to discuss, lead match, the lead magnet match is supposed to come up after you fill out the ICA. When you determine the lead mag, when you determine who your ideal customer avatar is, this is supposed to come up lead magnet match, but this is not user friendly because you're down here and you're either going to download my ICA summary or edit your answers or start over. Nowhere down, this is where that pillow needs to be. This is where that button needs to be. Now go find your ideal lead magnet. So I'm going to click that. It's going to download. And let's see what, I think I got 2 of them here. Okay, Dana, ICA summary. It's not bad. This is all AI generated. You can keep this, at the side of your desk when you're writing. You can, put it up on your bulletin board, whatever. But it's a nice little cheat sheet to keep in mind that you're talking to one person. All right, promise me you'll do that. Now, since we are doing everything live here, I am not ashamed to say that that is a little hiccup in the app itself, not to have that lead magnet match. Now, if I click on lead magnet match, I come over and still Dana has the same, demographics that she had. We got all that data is coming back over, and it's going to ask you what makes a lead magnet actually work. And I'm going to, in the chat, you can download a workbook that I created that goes along with this. But if you want to use the app, you can say any lead magnet that you create, you have to have 3 non-negotiables. You have to test it. This makes it easy, okay? You're not just throwing stuff at the wall saying, I wonder if my ideal client will, like this, or, is this going to be helpful, bring them value? Well, what you want to do is you want to make sure that your lead magnet is a quick win, solves one specific problem. You're giving this away. You're adding value. You don't need to solve everything from day 1 to the end of her life. You don't have to do that. Solve one problem that gets them to the next step. You want a fast result. Gone are the days of people sending out 60-page ebooks. Don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, some people are still doing it because sometimes I get them. And guess where they go? Straight to trash, because I'm not going to take the time to read a 60-page ebook if it was simply a lead magnet. All I wanted was something quick. All right. So you need that fast result. Instead of a 60-page ebook, give them a 1-page cheat sheet. I'm definitely going to read a 1-page cheat sheet or a checklist, but don't give them those 60-page ebooks. If you've got a 60-page ebook, put that on Amazon. Make some money off of it. That's a book. All right. So, and finally, your lead magnet has to be a bridge to your offer, to your paid offer, your product. It has to answer a question, but it has to create the desire for more. Whereas my Dana, my plant parent, would get maybe a checklist, 1-page checklist of do this right away for your plants. And then that would hopefully make her want more. And the paid offer for this is a plant parent app. But that's just fictitious. That's just for the scenario. So we are now going to find the proper lead magnets that would go with the ICA we just created. And I've already done this, okay? So I don't know why fast. Okay, there you go. So this is a version 1 of our app. And we just did this, Claude and I and Lovable just got this done this week. And it's going to need some work, okay? But bear with me because I think this stuff is just absolutely phenomenal that you can do this now. I got to stop. I got to tell you, I do. You may not like it, but I'm going to stop for a minute. The one thing I think that's phenomenal about AI is the fact that you don't have to code anymore. And I know my limits. I I definitely had a brain limit for physics. That went very quickly. I got through the first semester, took the second semester. Don't even want to tell you that the D minus he gave me, I had to beg for it. Had a brain fart at calculus right in the middle of the final. I knew that I'd maxed my brain out. And that's the same way, with AI. It's I like what it's doing, and it just I used to want to be a programmer. I really wanted to be a programmer. I took so many coding courses, and I always tell people I can say hello world in about a dozen different languages. And I can do some really good do whiles and if then loops. Beyond that, it doesn't never can't go any further. But now I don't have to know the code. And I'm really happy about that because I have a lot of, app ideas in my head. And so I'm just going to play around. So this is one of the good things that I find for AI. I don't know where we're going. If you're reading my Substacks, you know that I'm on the fence. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. And the different drama that's going on with AI is different. It's different, but we'll talk about that at the end, okay? So here it is given me 3 lead magnets that I can use. And I'm thinking right now that perhaps we need a headline, best headline portion in this app. So I'm not buying these that well, but they do make a little bit of sense, okay? Like I said, this is version 1. So we've got the Why Is It Dying diagnostic cheat sheet. Stop killing your greenery in 48 hours. Ooh, I like that one. That's not bad. So we're going to always check it with the 3 non-negotiables. Finally understand why their plants keep dying so they stop feeling like a failure. That feeling, you notice the feeling like a failure. The fast result. Identify the exact reason. Oh, I'm sorry, so sorry, so sorry. Somebody tell me that I did not go back to the right place. Come on. Oh my gosh. If it doesn't work there, Ramona. Okay, yeah, hold on. Hold on. That's not moving. This is live. It's live. Don't you love it? Don't you just love it? All right. We may have to sit here for a while. I am looking for the demo. Jeezy peasy. Okay. Yeah, that's that the Stream Deck. It's by Elgato. I'm not gonna like dog it out. All I have is the software. I don't have the physical deck because, like I say, my real estate here is very a little less than ideal. So I use the software, and just for that moment, it would not go to where I wanted it to go. So, and I've heard other people have problems with this Stream Deck, but they're doing complicated things. So I'm wondering why it even did that. So we've got one. We've got the Why Is It Dying? Another one is going to be the No Green Thumb Starter Guide. Okay. 5 plants that are actually easy to keep alive. Now that's nice. I like that one. The quick win would be stops them from spending money on the wrong plants. Some plants are very complicated. The fast result would be buy their first unkillable plant. I like that. That you could use in the copy. Buy your first unkillable plant with confidence and set it up in their home without feeling overwhelmed. I like it. The bridge, once they successfully shop for easy plants, they will need a step-by-step system for long-term care to ensure their home stays inviting. Certainly. And that would be the app that you can carry around. Third, the office manager's 5-minute Friday plant check, a simple routine for thriving plants. And I understand why the AI created that, because the ICA question was, what do they do for a living? Do they work? And I just put office manager in there, so it pulled that. I don't think that's super necessary to single out what their profession is and use it, but that's what the AI's thinking was. And like I say, I really do feel that this needs some massaging, and I would assume that the AI needs more data, right? It needs more data to work with. So I'll figure that out, and I will get back to you with version 2. So you can now, if you don't want to, so you've got your 3 ideas. Maybe they're going to work for you, maybe they aren't, but at least you're not starting from a blank page of, oh my God, what am I going to do? Why? And then you also have, these may, give you an idea of what else you could do that maybe you would rather do for your ICA. But it starts, and just remember that you have to keep to those non-negotiables. You have to check everything against the quick win, the fast result, and the bridge. If you do that, you're always going to have a very successful lead magnet, as long as you've determined who your ideal client is. So now, if you don't want to, do the new fandangled AI generated way, you can still do a workbook that I've got for you. You can, let me see if this works, because we're testing this live. So download the free workbook. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, there it is. So it doesn't work, because Lovable did come back with a problem with that for a minute, and it says I'm fixing it. So here's the workbook. If you want to just download, that link is also in the chat there. Grab it, and it's a pretty decent notebook. You just pull it up, and you've got your spaces, so you can fill in your questions, and you can keep this on your desk and reference back to it. Here's the big thing in a nutshell, though. If you don't remember anything else and you don't want to go through the app, you don't want to download the workbook, just remember these three things. If you can visualize this image, your lead magnet is the first step. It's the entry point. It solves one problem. The gap is what they still need, makes it sustainable, scalable, and complete. That's the gap. You've given them, you gave them that cheat sheet for the easy plants, but maybe they want some exotic plant. Maybe they want to do orchids. I've never tried orchids, but I hear they're finicky. So you've got to create that gap. You've got to make them want more. And that leads to your paid offer. That's the complete system. That's how they get their entire problem solved. So remember that you always have to leave something for them to desire. If you go by that graphic, it's in the workbook. Download the workbook. You're gonna be good to go. Okay. So let's get up here. Now that my slide deck isn't working, I gotta go the old-fashioned way, huh? So we had the problem, we did the demo, we built everything, we did the match. Remember your 3. So what's next? You've got your person, you've got lead magnet ideas, but now you need a system that delivers it all to the proper place. You want, like I say, you want the people, you got the freebie, I need to work with her. You want to get that desire going, and the easiest way to do that is, let's work together. If you feel like you don't want to do this on your own, give me a call, holler at me, get on Zoom, DM me on Facebook, contact me on LinkedIn. Do not try Instagram because I never go over there. But let's just work together. Got to turn me off. Okay, grab that. That's how you can work with me. It's got all my links. It's basically a link in bio. I want you to grab that and get on my calendar. And we're going to go back here. I want you to get on my calendar. I don't want you to suffer. Don't suffer in silence because there's no need to suffer. If I can't help you, there's somebody out there that can help you. I was in a group just yesterday, and the gal that's running the group, it's for ECAM, and she said, do not spend 12 hours on a problem. She says, I don't want you to do that. Don't come at me and say, I just spent 12 hours trying to figure this out and still don't know how to do it. She says, please reach out before then. And that's what I'm saying. Don't be the person that's up at midnight and you got 3 kids to get out to school and you're trying to figure out where the email is going that you sent from your email service provider, but it never gets to your test email box and you just don't know what's going on. Don't be that person, okay? Because if I can't help you, there's people out there that can. We're not supposed to suffer, and I have to take my own advice because I get to places and I got some ECAM questions to get answered, and I thought, well, you know what, I could figure it out myself, and I'll put it on the laptop, and I'll put another thing over there, and I'll pretend I'm doing a Zoom meeting with multiple people. And I thought, why don't I just go in the group and ask for help? That's what we do here. We're building community everywhere, because if we don't have these communities, we were talking about this, that's it for the demo. Now, you've got your workbook. You've got, I got to put the app in there, don't I? I'll put the app link in there. Oh, it's on, you've got that. You've got the app. It's on the, let me get that back. Let me go back to, we're not here. I know, sorry. Okay, grab that app. The app's there. A whole bunch of lead magnets are in there if you're interested. And yeah. Let me see. I'm going to put that here, but look what I'm going to do. Can I do this? I can. I shouldn't have done that, but I did, didn't I? Oh, I love working live. It's so much fun. But no, I mean, the thing is, we have to build community today here in 2026. And we were talking about this in that ECAM group, that when you get in these places and these spaces, you realize that they're like-minded people, number one. They're positive people, number two. And the place is safe. You know, I wouldn't feel any way if I went to the group with a problem totally unrelated to ECAM, because it's a safe space. So I do believe that we need some safe spaces in this hectic world that we are living in. We need some type of respite. A lot of you, go to a coffee shop, get your group, your Sex in the City friends for women, or your guy pals and whatnot. Get in those safe spaces. And if you don't get out that much, get online. There's a lot of good safe spaces online where you can learn a lot and still feel safe and still let that stuff, that noise out there, just push it away. It'll be there when you get back. So, hey, if there's any questions, I don't see anything in the chat. What I'm going to do for a final experiment, because I do have a comment, but nobody's asking the questions. Let me see. Put my comment up there, and I swear that I had customize that. This is supposed to be, I'm going to get rid of it real quick. The text was supposed to be white on a blue background, and as you can see, that didn't carry over for some reason. So I'm going to practice that. I'm going to shut this down a little bit early. Remember, there's only 45 minutes or less. These are snackable little tech treats for you. I gotta use that in my marketing. Snackable little tech treats. I gotta write that down. Claude, remember that. Or Siri. No, I'm not gonna call Siri. Don't call her. So I'm gonna shut it down. I do have another Ecamm is gonna do a little group, and I'm gonna go join that in a couple of hours. So I hope you learned something. I hope you're getting value out of this, because I'm only here to help. I just really don't want you to be tech averse or, stuck in tech hell. I don't want it for you. I want you to be able to get this stuff done and get into your zone of genius. Okay? Please do that for me.